Right.
Yes. Hello, this is the Vanguard Show on podcast, episode number 22, Sunday, June 18th, 2021. The Vanguard Show podcast is being sponsored by the book From Old Guard to Vanguard, a second generation Panther, as well as the From Old Guard to Vanguard photo exhibit. And both those entities are available online, Amazon.com, and both have Facebook pages. And I definitely want to say that today is a very special day because this is a comrade from LA that I've been trying to hook up with for years, literally. His name has always been around, Los Angeles and the nation. It's Comrade Harold Welton, who's a filmmaker. He's a screenwriter and a former member of the Southern California chapter of the Black Panther Party. And last night, I believe there was a screening of Jackson, Not Just a Name, which I definitely want to jump on that from the get-go. Again, Brother Harold, welcome to the Vanguard Show.
Well, thank you, brother comrade Malik. Jackson, Not Just a Name, was a film about an organization that I was a co-founder of from 1971 to 1973. The Jonathan Jackson Educational Cadre came about 2 weeks after Comrade George Jackson's memorial, August 28th, 1971. This was during the, I don't like to say split, but the large contradiction in the Black Panther Party, which occurred in 1971. And on the way back from the memorial, a comrade of mine who I'd known since we were kids, Donald Crump, rest in power, we talked about the fact that we wanted to continue organizing. And we decided that we were going to organize in the community that we grew up in, which in this case was the Avalon Garden projects in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas.
Okay, all right. And also, who helped collaborate with you on this film in terms of support?
Okay, I had 30 minutes of Super 8 film.
All right.
Our version of,
All right.
what was our version of the cell phone, right?
Okay, yeah.
Inspired by the murder of Fred Hampton, we decided to film ourselves, right?
Okay.
And I kept this film from 1971-73, just 28 minutes. And I always had in the front of my mind, I want to do something with this. I want to make a music video. So it ended up, I collaborated with a person I grew up with. We just made a long 2-hour and 45-minute documentary.
Okay.
And then I met up with a comrade by the name of David Dang in 2012. I found out that he was a editor, motion designer, and we got together. It took us about 3 years to put this together.
Okay.
And we call it a work in progress still. So it's about the Jonathan Jackson Educational Cadre, George Jackson karate program. Of course, we had a free breakfast program. We had a reading program. We did a lot of things.
Okay. And why specifically the Jacksons? Because George Jackson, legendary, Jonathan Jackson, certainly legendary. And a lot of people could focus on other people, but what drew you specifically to the Jackson revolutionary story?
I'll start off by saying this. One time somebody asked me did I think George and Jonathan Jackson walked on water.
Okay.
I told them, I didn't know they didn't. Yeah, I believe
I love it.
Their commitment to revolutionary struggle at a very young age, for me, 19, was very inspiring. I met Jonathan in passing in March of 1970 at what was to become the Soledad Brothers house. And it wasn't like, oh, there's Jonathan, he's going to go in the courtroom. It was like the Soledad Brothers. I barely knew who the Soledad Brothers were, George Jackson in 1970. His sister was there, mom, Jonathan, and I think Fleeta Drumgo's mother was there. was there. And thereafter, I may have seen him about 4 or 5 times after that. And then August 7th, 1970. And I think, yeah, in October 1970, I read Soledad Brother by George Jackson, and his understanding of revolution and his commitment. Ooh, it just like, man, unbelievable, his commitment. And he did that in solitary confinement in prison, and did like both those comrades are in my heart, right?
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I have to shout out Sister Kim Morris.
Yeah.
Who that's beautiful family with you, and she's a comrade sister to me, as well as Brother Kwabena Jijaga,
Yes,
nephew to Geronimo Jijaga Pratt, rest in power. How's Sister Kim doing?
Sister Kim is Sister Kim. She's good people, funny.
Oh yeah.
Family cousin. She's really committed to what she's doing. She's working with another sister in restoring. Well, they have restored a cemetery where Bunchy and Glenn is, as you know, is Bunchy's brother.
Glenn Arthur Morris, yeah.
Man, both those families, the Pratts. I had the honor of meeting online with the family about 3 months ago, and man, both those families, their camaraderie, their closeness. There's some, and this is not just political, man. There's some good people.
Right on.
Very good people, man.
Yeah, and at that meeting, I actually got a chance to chop it up with you, or you got the chance to see me as well. So this is why I was very happy to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I go a little bit back with Brother Kwabena. But in that regard, in terms of Sister Kim and yourself and others who have carried the legacy of Apprentice Bunchy Carter, could you tell my audience, more about your relationship to Bunchy and the family and his legacy?
Okay, I'll start off with junior high, Charles Drew Middle School. I met Bunchy's. Well, we were both the same age, so I met my brother, Gregory Carter, in middle school. And at that time, people weren't talking about having relatives in prison open as we are now, right? Not that that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I met Gregory first, Gregory Carter. We met like this. We were bagging on each other, playing the dozens on each other in class.
Okay, all right.
And he got me.
Oh, okay.
He got me. If it would have been a fight, they would have stopped it. But I went home and went over my lines and came back, and I think we at least had a draw.
Oh, okay.
You know? So I'll go into how I met Bunchy. Late 1967, which I look at 1967 like 2020 with George Floyd and rebellions all over the country.
Right.
Well, that was what 67 was similar to. So comrades that I grew up with in the Avalon Garden projects, one day we were going to a store in LA called White Fronts, right?
Okay.
It was on Central. We passed by this storefront. We saw all these black posters, H. Rap Brown, Jamil Alameen, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. And we were like, well, let's go in there and see what's happening. So we met this brother, big fro,
okay,
leather piece, starched collar,
all right,
biscuit shoes. I don't know if folks know what biscuit shoes are.
Okay.
Shine and those see-through socks, we call them iridescents. This brother was like sharp, right?
Okay.
And we went in and we asked him, what about the pictures? Do you know this person? Do you know anyway?
Right.
And he started running down the ideology of the Black Panther Party and the 10-point platform, right? Mm-hmm. So we were smitten, if you will, by H. Rap Brown and Kwame and Stokely Carmichael at the time. And they were like speaking to the streets of that 1967 year as well as the Panthers, but we were like, we wanted to be in SNCC.
Oh, okay, right.
Coordinating committee with H. Rap Brown and Kwame Ture Stokely Carmichael. And so we asked Bunchy, we didn't know who Bunchy was at the time, right? And we asked him, could you connect little kids?
Okay.
Could you connect us after he ran down an ideology of the Panthers?
Right.
We asked him, could he connect us to SNCC?
Okay.
This was before cell phones, before the internet and all that. And he laughed, right?
Right. And
he said, okay. So he hooked us up with Ron Wilkins, who doesn't like me to say his nickname anymore.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ron Wilkins, he was Western Regional Director of SNCC. Okay. And before the Panthers, we became part of the SNCC organization from early 68 to July 1969.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and in SNCC, for those who don't know, is the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee,
right?
Which has a long history in the civil rights movement. But at some point during that process, I think after John Lewis, I think lost the election within SNCC. Is that correct? And yes, the more the Black Power and the Black liberation element began to kind of boil over, I should say, or present itself. Did you always have that kind of Black Power or a power to the people philosophy when you were coming up?
No, I love baseball.
Okay.
It was popular back in the day, but my parents, my father's people are from Beaumont, Texas. My mother's people are from Louisville, Kentucky. And they would talk about politics while we were in the house, right? The civil rights struggle. My father, he was really into jazz, and they would talk about it, right? So we always had, my brothers and sisters and I, we always had that understanding, but I wanted to be Roberto Clemente.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
Baseball player who died tragically helping his people in Puerto Rico with, I think it was an earthquake, I believe.
Yeah, he was offering relief, yeah.
And he got killed in a plane crash. So I wanted to be him for the movement. But 1966, my sister got a book from, I don't know if you know Raymond Nat Turner.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Raymond.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They were close. I think he liked my sister. I can say it now. Yeah,
oh, okay.
But,
nothing wrong. It's all good.
yeah, he knows. Anyway,
right.
he gave her a book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X. And my sister gave it to me, my older sister, rest in peace. She gave it to me. I want you to read this. And that was the first book I read from cover to cover without gunpoint.
Wow, okay.
Read this book, you know.
Wow. And
that inspired me. I was like, well, we lived in the projects, but that inspired me. I was like, man, this man, he went through all that and he turned his life around, very articulate, organizer. So that was the jump start for me and my comrades. I always say that because we grew up together and we did things together, and we're still close to this day.
Okay, all right.
Cats I grew up with.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, well, I was going to let you know that I am sincerely sorry that I did not include, I sent you an article called, they call them Bunchy, like a bunch of greens.
Bunch of greens.
That Ronald Friedman, my mentor, comrade, yes, rest in power.
Yes, sir.
He used to always say, and I think I was rushing, and then for some reason I didn't jot down your name, but you were as virtual, in terms of just a important part of that Southern California Black Panther legacy as any of them. And I definitely want to say apologies on that.
Oh, no, not a problem. And I failed to mention, we didn't ask Bunchy his name until we were leaving the building, right? This is where the formation started. I'm getting ready Sneeze. I'm sorry.
bless you.
I don't have nothing. I have allergies. But
Okay, all right. All right.
as far as last week when I got checked, but anyway,
Yeah.
I said, yes, sir. By the way, sir, sorry, man.
Oh, bless
Sometimes I
you.
feel like slapping myself when I snake.
Oh, that's all right, man. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, he laughed and he said, just what you said. He said, my name is Bunchy, like a bunch of green.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually was mentored by, not only Ronald Freeman, but his brother, Roland,
Rolling.
Wayne
Yeah.
Farr. They used to come by the Vanguard headquarters. Did you ever get a chance to come by the Vanguard headquarters on Martin Luther King?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I came by a couple of times. By that time, I had gotten married, family, and but I still was involved. I was a shop steward, right?
Okay.
But yeah. Footnote on that, Ronald and Roland, I knew before I became a member of the party because Beverly Freeman, Roland's wife, and I, how things connect is funny. Beverly and I grew up together. Beverly grew up down the street from the Avant-Garden projects, and her brother again, my sister was supposed to get married. Ernest, which is his name, Ernest Kirkwood. Ernest went to Vietnam.
Okay.
And my sister went the other way.
Oh, okay, all right, all right.
So yeah, so Roland and Ronald, man. Roland, his commitment to struggle was extraordinary.
Definitely.
And also Ronald, I admired Ronald because Ronald, both of them, but Ronald used to always talk about the rank and file. He always had a way of making a person comfortable when you talk to him. He talked about leadership, but he would always, relate the work to the work of the rank and file.
Right. Yeah, he called it the backbreakers. I mean, in terms of people who broke their back to serve people.
Busting, selling those papers, serving in the breakfast program. We also, we being comrades that came into the party December 69 out of East LA College's Black Student Union. We worked in the Alprentice Bunchy Carter Free Clinic over on 32nd and Central, which began in January of 1970.
Okay, all right. And I was going to ask, you were part of Lee Lou Lee's All Power to the People, correct?
No,
you weren't in it? I remember seeing a bunch of Southern California comrades, and I thought one favored you. I just didn't remember the name.
Okay, I hope he didn't do nothing wrong. No.
No, he was good. He was in good standing.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Well, tell me where did you grow up, and eventually what made you join the Black Panther Party?
Okay, I grew up in one of the largest, we like to say projects.
Okay, all right.
The Pueblo del Rio projects. I was born in the Pueblos, right, as we call them. And I think when I was 7, it was 5 of us, right? My mother and father were still together there. Believe it or not, I was thinking today, a lot of families in the projects, not like today, the parents were actually married. It was more married couples than they weren't.
Right.
So we moved to the Avant-Garden projects when I was 7.
Okay.
And hey, I grew up wanting to play baseball and basketball, in particular baseball. I went to South Park Elementary.
Okay.
Now, people sometimes, I don't know, understand that we knew each other before the party. Wayne Farr was in my 5th grade class at South Park Elementary.
Oh, okay. All
right. Wayne the Brain.
All right.
Wayne the Brain. or we used to call him Billy, really.
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
I remember one time, this one try to, like a sister told me, we got to humanize brothers and sisters in the struggle. I remember one time we had this, what you want to be?
Mhm.
I came up with my piece of paper. I want to be a baseball player. I'm Roberto Clemente.
All right.
This is what you have to do. Wayne gets up. This is a teacher named Eva Holmes, who kicked
Okay.
my butt one time, by the way.
Uh-oh, okay.
uh, Wayne gets up and very calmly he starts talking about being a jet pilot, right?
Okay. All right.
And this is at the time, 1962. This is a time where I didn't see any black jet pilots, right?
Okay.
And Wayne, you have to know mathematics, and I mean, he got a big hand, clap. Everybody was clapping.
Okay.
And I wanted to get up and take my little paper and leave. And then real quick, two incidents. Paul Red.
Okay.
When I met Paul in the third grade. Paul was an artist, as you know.
Right.
And Paul and they had this contest. Name the school paper. Well, since I like sports, I named the school paper. I chose the name, the South Park Highlights, right?
Okay.
Which I won. And then Paul Red won for the paper design.
Right.
Well, both of us were in what was called the referral room the day that they had the announcement and the awards and all that.
Right.
They came to the referral room, got us out, brought us into the auditorium, and we got our little awards, our little paper. Okay, guys, now you got to go back. One more, Paul Reed, fourth grade.
Wow.
The fourth grade, Mr. Broussard, who used to wear the same suit almost every day. Well, we were like bagging on him, as I said, shooting on him, as we used to say.
Okay.
So he made us get up in front of the students and face the wall, right?
Okay.
Well, the clown, me, I kept making gestures and
You couldn't stay still, huh?
my daughters say I was probably hyperactive anyway.
Wow.
Maybe so, but that man, he grabbed me and slammed me against the wall 2 or 3 times.
Oh,
They
wow.
could do that then, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, not today.
And no, not today. And he I think on the second, he said, "Did it hurt?" I said, "No, it didn't hurt, man. He slammed me that last time."
That hurt that time, right?
That
hurt. Okay.
Yeah, that hurt, sir.
Wow. Wow.
Paul Red.
Okay. Now he joined the party, didn't he? He was part of the party.
Paul and Wayne were in the firefight, right? I don't like to say shootout, firefight on 41st and Central.
Yeah.
And then Samaya, Renee Peaches Moore.
I knew her actually.
Yeah. We went to the same church, 49th and Figueroa Bethany Baptist Church, my grandmother's church.
Okay.
And I remember she used to sing in the choir.
Wow.
And I would be outside after that because I did not like being in church.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You had a different gospel, right?
Yeah, I had a different gospel. Let me sneak out of the church.
Wow. Now, Peaches, and it was Tommy. You knew Tommy. She was part of that 41st.
Yeah, Tommy. Okay, and I came into the party in December '69.
Okay.
After the firefight, they were asking people. We were cleaning up the office, right? We were out of East LA College's Black Student Union. We been a comrade named Donald Crump and Alan Ball and his wife Jackie Ball, and they were asking people, do they want to join the party? So we joined the party at that time, and at that time they were having purges, right?
Right.
We used to call them jackanapes and yahoo. So we had to come in as community workers. That was our title. You were in the party, but your title was community workers. We were still working in the BSU at East LA College too.
Okay.
We had a newspaper there that we put out called the Black Guard.
Okay.
So,
Is that similar to, was it named after, I guess, Robert Williams,
yes,
Blackguard?
sir.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay, I see the connection. Okay.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I was gonna say, did you you get a chance to work with Geronimo Gijaga or Elmer
yes,
Geronimo
sir.
Pratt back then? Tell me about your relationship.
Geronimo,
Yeah.
first time I saw him was before we came into the party.
Okay.
I think it was maybe 2 months after Bunchy was assassinated,
Mm.
I think. And Geronimo, man, we were that's just before they left their office in the Black Congress.
Okay.
And what I dug about Geronimo, I'm young, right?
Right.
But he used to wear his leather piece. It would be draped over his shoulders, right?
Okay.
And man, this is Geronimo, right?
Okay.
and Geronimo, Louisiana, he had that country accent, and that to me added to it.
Right. He was another character.
Yeah, you're another character. So and then his ability to lead, I always looked up to the big brothers and sisters in terms of their ability to lead and their commitment. So being young, it was always, we were looking up to them. And Geronimo was like, he wasn't a loud person, but the way he spoke was, clear and understood, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
I definitely remember talking with Quavina and I think someone else, and they were talking about something where, well, it was not Quavina, someone else. They were talking about him and Bunchy throwing a knife against a tree or something like that. Can you talk about that? I mean, that's how it was a nonverbal thing from what I understood.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there. It was on YouTube. That almost made me cry, man.
Oh, okay.
The way he talked about how him and Bunchy met. They met through a mutual party. And like you said, they were throwing knives and, they got to know each other. And I do believe that Bunchy gave Geronimo that name,
Okay.
And I'm not 100% sure. But man, the way he ended it, he said, "That's how I met Bunchy." Man, that was like, well, both of them had transitioned by then, but that was another type of feeling for me. Just reinforced, man, their commitment to revolution and liberation.
Right.
But
yeah.
Man, I want to tell you, I just want people to know a little bit more about Bunchy. One time we were part of the UCLA program for youth in the community. They had a program called TOPS in 1968. They had an office on San Pedro in Manchester. Okay. And Skip Johnson used to let us use the building, right? We had a little Shotokan karate class, right? Mm-hmm. So one day, and we're tripping, man.
All right.
One day we were tripping. We did our
was karate. It naturally tripping or just tripping?
No, tripping, doing something stupid, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So my brother, he was writing, so we said, let's guard the building, right, while you're writing. Okay. Tripping, right, imitating people.
Right.
So we were outside in black gis, right, our karate uniforms, if you will. We're standing outside, arms folded, guarding nobody.
Right. Just looking hard, right?
Tripping, looking hard. Here come this brother. And Bunchy, to me, kind of walked like Richard Pryor in terms of the way he swung his arms, right?
Okay, the swing, right.
Yeah. So he was walking across San Pedro in Manchester. And he walked, oh, Lord, standing in front of the building. He could have tore us a new one, right?
Okay.
But he asked us, have you seen Gwen Goodlow? No, she hasn't been here. I wanted to say Mr. Carter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But he knew we were tripping, but he didn't say anything about
Oh,
it.
okay. Let you off the hook on that.
Yeah, they just young and they silly, you know.
Uh,
But yeah, that, like I said, Comrade always talks about humanizing us, showing things, talking about things. Well, we were like real people,
right.
coming up, tripping,
Oh yeah. Hey, that's just
doing silly things.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I was going to also mention in Rest in Power to Gregory Everett, who had a fantastic film called 41st and Central, The Untold Story of the LA Panthers documentary. What was I knew you knew him. What was your relationship with him and then the significance of that film?
okay. I first met Gregory, I think in 2009. I heard about him.
Okay.
May have been 2008. I heard about him, and then I read somewhere that they were going to screen the film at the library. What's the library
Is
from?
this South Central Library? I mean, no, the
Yeah, the
Southern California.
Southern California Library.
Right, right.
So they screened the film. Ronald was there. No, Roland was there. Wayne was there. A couple of other Panthers were there. And so I had this film and these ideas of making a documentary on the JJC, as we call it, Jonathan Jackson. And he said, I said, well, how did you do it? And he told me, and he said, oh, well, you know what you do? Oh, you got a cell phone? You can make a documentary with a cell phone. And that always stuck with me.
Okay.
He would always talk. I'd call him and ask him, how do I do this? What do I do to do this? Do you know this person?
Okay.
And well, brother, well, what you gotta do. But the significance of that was, here's a younger brother that brought to life something that happened in the day that, to me, to this day, standing on what was Santa Barbara and Central, maybe 2 hours into the firefight, hearing Black people shooting back at the police just blew not only me and others away. And for somebody to bring that, crystallize that to where people met and saw what was going on at the time was like extraordinary. And as my youngest grandson always said, awesome.
Okay.
And of course, Gregory's transition was a shock to us. Rest in power.
Rest in power.
But he was like a good brother, man. He interviewed me for the Southern California Library maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
But I like his sense of humor too.
Oh yeah.
And
I had a chance to talk with him as well, and
yeah,
we exchanged a lot. He was familiar with my I guess my working with Kwaku and the rest of
right.
And he was just such an extraordinary brother. Did you know his father, Jeffrey Everett?
I can't remember his father, Jeffrey.
Okay, all right. He might not have been in there that long.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But I would like to say he was a great father too, man. Great father to his sons, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say also, you did did you do a project on, was it Fremont High? It was a focus on a high school.
Okay, yeah, we're in post-production right now, and that was that's the liberation of Fremont High School.
Okay.
And it's about my brother and his comrades. Back in '68, they organized a Black Student Union to literally have a Black Studies program on the high school campus. At the time, Fremont was mainly white staff, right?
Okay.
Teachers, principals, etc. And in addition, they were organizing to have a Black principal, right?
Okay.
That struggle went on for about a year. and they evolved into other things. They evolved into community control of Fremont High School. In addition, LAPD attacked Fremont High twice during that time. In fact, my brother and 3 other comrades, we grew up together, they were arrested, indicted really by the district attorney then for conspiracy to disrupt a religious service, not a religious service, to disrupt the educational code, which was a felony. And this is the first time high school students had been indicted by the DA directly for conspiracy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Man,
So it's about that struggle.
Okay.
When post-production, actually we're finished, but a friend of mine, Charles Mims, he's doing the music. And I told him, you know what? We're in a pandemic. I want this done right. Take your time. So he started in February.
Okay. All right.
David Dang on that project too.
Okay. Yeah. Can I call him Dat?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. I was going to say, how can people support that effort, to get it made and your other ventures as well?
Okay, well, we're on Film Freeway as far as Jackson, not just the name. Then we also have our, I'm not trying to make no money out of these films. It's all from my pocket, right?
Right.
Get the word out. But they can go to YouTube really, and they can check out the trailer, Jackson, not just the name, story of the Jonathan Jackson Educational Cadre, and then the liberation of Fremont High School on YouTube. Okay. Fremont hasn't been released yet, like I said, but I think it's going to take off because of the fact that in LA, especially Fremont, at one time was the largest high school in Los Angeles. We had not just black high school. We had, when I was going there, we had over 4,000 students, and they didn't have like staggered days. You come this day, it was just like 4,000 students. And so, yeah, they can support the project by going to YouTube and be on the lookout at Facebook under Harold Welton or Dat Dang under Facebook, Instagram, and be on the lookout for it.
Yeah, and I was going to say, could you talk about a little bit, because I'm going to backtrack a little bit to some of the programs that the Southern California chapter had that you were involved in for the community?
All right, good question. We had the free breakfast program. Okay. We had a free breakfast program on Layton Street in Vermont, which was actually 39th in Vermont near Manual Arts High School. Comrade named Alan Ball and Jackie Ball. I will always have a whole lot of rest in peace, Jackie Ball. She passed about 2 months ago.
Oh, rest in peace.
But they actually opened up their home. And they had children. Alan is about 11 years older than me, right? Okay. All right. And they opened up their home and had the breakfast program in their home. The police always riding by, and they got children. We also worked in the Nickerson Gardens because we would volunteer. Could you work? They'd ask, could you work in the Nickerson Gardens today or tomorrow? Because so-and-so won't be there and this and that. And then we worked at the free breakfast program on, what was that, Hooper and Vernon at a church.
Okay.
So, and then the Alprentice Bunchy Carter free clinic. They had sickle cell screening, pap smears, and they did like preliminary, they had doctors that volunteered their time, and they would do preliminary checkups, free. Everything was free. Okay. You know Norma Moore, right? Al and Norma.
I heard. I didn't know them personally, but I heard the name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they were the ones that started opened up the clinic, like I said, on 32nd and Central, and also, and I love this too. Man, selling the Black Panther Community News Service, the paper, walking from 39th and Vermont all the way to La Brea and Rodeo, and
Wow.
to King or now was Santa Barbara. I
Okay.
used to have this little thing that I did while I was selling the paper. I was, oh, there's something strange. It's imitate Muhammad Ali.
Oh, okay.
Something strange in the air. There's something new in the air. Well, what is it? It's the Black Panther Party community.
Right on. But I don't know if you know that we continue that legacy with
Yeah,
Vanguard
I,
newspaper.
I used to buy the paper. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And let's talk about the legacy of Los Angeles, because it's the only city where I saw, that there was a 3-era legacy, if you will, beginning
Right,
with Apprentice Bunchy Carter, and
right,
the era that you were a part of, then Kwaku Duran with the second reorganization of the Southern California chapter with Kato
right,
Kutz, Charles Boko Freeman, and others, Sharif Abdullah as well.
right. Good brother.
And then the part I was a part of in terms of the Vanguard. Talk about that legacy and your relationship with the Panther Vanguard, and why you embraced this along with others.
Okay, now Kwaku, I can't remember how we met, but he the second wave, as we say.
Yeah, 77 to 82, I think.
Yeah, He asked us to come to Fremont High School, of all places.
Okay. Wow.
They were having a meeting on the campus,
Yeah.
and they talked about the fact that the Panthers would be reorganizing in Los Angeles, and different programs that they would have. And then the Vanguard, I remember selling the paper. I remember Sharif being younger, but very articulate. And okay, again, I had gotten married, kids, and I was into raising my family, but I was also a shop steward, right?
Okay.
So that's how I remember the Vanguard and the Black Panther Party return to Los Angeles. I didn't find out about the party when I went to Fremont High School. I would see people selling the paper, right? And I'm like, oh, Panthers in Los Angeles, yeah.
Okay.
So I remember the Vanguard had a couple of events at in the Merck Park, I believe.
Yeah.
And I remember when Geronimo got out, I believe the Vanguard was at the Merck Park when they gave the welcome home.
Right.
For
As a
Geronimo.
matter of fact, I was actually at the courthouse in Santa Ana.
Right. Yeah.
When he was freed, covering. As a matter of fact, the picture on our newspaper where you see Geronimo being led out of the courthouse, that was my picture that was on the front cover. So yeah, we definitely were around during that time. A magical moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, were you in the court that day? Inside
Yes,
the court?
I was inside the court. Well, I wasn't in the courtroom. I was just outside the doors where everybody else was at, as well as Eldridge Cleaver, until he went inside the courtroom.
Yeah. I got in Muhammad Mubarak. I was with Ron Wilkins that day, and Muhammad Mubarak, he was able to get us in the courtroom.
Okay.
And so it was very emotional when the judge, granted Geronimo victory. But Papa, I love Papa. Papa went through what he went through.
Right.
But I remember that when we were outside, he was saying, Sergeant Pratt,
Okay.
Sergeant Pratt, I want to talk to you.
Okay.
Let me footnote on Papa. Papa Ray.
El Rage.
El Rage. South Park, the park.
Okay.
1968, I think it was the fall of 68, right before Eldridge left the country.
Okay.
He gave a speech, right? And man, Eldridge, he was a spark in my life that that woke, continued to awaken. I don't want to sound like 2021, but
Right.
it was a spark for me, right?
Oh, okay.
But I just want to say a line. And my grandmother, was a very religious person. So I remember one time my cousin and I, we were talking in the backyard at one of the family barbecues, and I was imitating elders.
Okay.
If Jesus Christ himself, I don't curse no more.
Okay.
Gotta put some fire on my egg, I'm gonna look around and form a Black Panther Party. All I can feel was something pulling my collar neck.
And then he said something about the moon. If we organize on the moon.
We'll organize on the moon. But I don't know, you probably remember this. A lot of Panthers, man, because we were young and influenced, we had certain speech patterns. If you listen to some Panthers,
right.
We're gonna go to the store and organize there.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But some people they don't want to talk about Eldridge, but Eldridge he was a spark in my life, and I respect that aspect of it,
Well, I had a chance to actually meet Eldridge at the courthouse briefly, right. And I spoke with him. I shared the newspaper that we had reissued, and he said, "Yeah, I started this." I said, "Oh, okay, all right." Right. But he actually was very influential to me, and I know a lot of people maybe have negative thing, positive, whatever right. They have is what they have. But he was the party's chief propagandist.
That's right.
And I actually, Kwaku and Sharif actually gave me the moniker of Minister of Information right. Because of my writing abilities, and then I was a good rally speaker. And I tried to pattern myself after Eldridge, and whether people agreed with it or not, he still right. was a tremendous influence on not only the Black liberation movement or Black Panther Party, but the people's movement. He really right. galvanized the people.
Right. And he, Bunchy and him met in prisons,
That's right.
So,
that's right.
There it is. There's a connection.
Yeah, and tell me, what future products do you have, in the works? I know you have the Fremont, obviously, but do you have any, projects down the road that once you complete what you're doing on the Fremont project that you're looking to go to, and what have you?
Okay, not necessarily a film, but right now I'm part of what's called Black August Los Angeles. Black August, you probably have heard of it.
Oh yeah.
Different things that are prison related and also political in terms of what's going on today.
Okay.
Also, I'm a member of Fair Chance Prison Project. Okay. It's for my grandson. Give a shout out to my grandson, Jabril Stokes. Okay. Long story short, wrong neighborhood. If he would have been in the neighborhood, and I'm not saying that my grandson is guilty. If he would have been in the neighborhood where he grew up, I don't think he would be where he is now. He's in prison. I think they would have told whoever called, they would have said, well, make a report at 108th Street Police Station. He's in prison, and I teach part-time. I went back in 2016. That's when my grandson was captured. And my main purpose is to get him out. I got him a good post-conviction lawyer through Fair Chance Prison Projects. And I work with them. And then currently we have an organization called the Coalition to Free Ruchell McGee. You can also find us at our petition site, freeruchellmcgee.org. We got over 30,000 signatures.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah, we're working on some things. that I cannot discuss right now.
Okay.
It's kind of sensitive in terms of what we're doing, but we're working with and talking with individuals to see if we can get Comrade free. As you know, his parole was denied on the 15th of July.
Right.
But we have a three-pronged attack. We're looking at clemency from the governor of California. We're also looking at the district attorney down here in terms of dealing with the new laws and the new referendums that this district attorney has down here, though he's getting pushback from some of his staff people. We're looking at his original conviction in Los Angeles in 1963. We're trying to get that dealt with, and hopefully we can get our brother out. He's 82 years old, 58 years. You look at a man that was given a 3-year extension on his parole. We understand that he's on a walker, possibly a cane, and you know, this man was denied parole for another 3 years. But I'd like to let everybody know we still on it. We're still moving on it. Again, free Rochelle McGee, and all the committee to free Rochelle McGee, coalition, I should say, to free Rochelle McGee, and then our petition on .org to get folks to put signatures in. So we're doing a lot of things to try to get him out.
Okay, all right.
For the rest of his life.
Yes. And is there any additional websites or emails that you haven't already mentioned that you'd like to mention?
Okay, we also are on Action Network. You can find a petition. Well, you'll find it on our website.
Okay.
Action Network. And the petition, I think we have about close to 600. Those petitions are going directly to the governor.
Okay, all right.
And also, well, we did have a petition that was going directly to the parole board, obviously didn't reach them. So it's free, the coalition to free Rochelle McGee. That's our website. And then also free RochelleMcGee.org.
Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
And how can people follow you? You know, I know you, like I say, Facebook, there's Facebook pages for some of the things you're involved in. How can they follow you?
Right now, I'm on Facebook under Harold Welton, and Black August. We have a Black August site,
Okay.
Black August Los Angeles. And that's basically it, you know.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay away from some of the social media sites.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you something that happened to me.
Okay.
I had a small dryer fire, right?
Okay.
In my house right now, I'm in a hotel. We're in a hotel, right?
Oh, okay.
And while they remodel and do what they have to do, it was mainly smoke damage, right?
Okay.
Man, I called the fire department when we got home. I had a fire extinguisher in the back, so I was able to put most of the dry fire out, but it's smoke damage. Anyway,
Right.
at least 8 sheriff cars drive up first, right?
Okay. Wow.
True story. I want people to know this, how they roll. Well, we already know, but just to reinforce. This one sheriff woman gets out and say, "Are you Harold Welton?" Yeah, I thought it was through the, you know, they can go to their little computers. Oh yeah, that's who lives here.
Right.
Then this black sheriff alleged black sheriff gets out and says, "Are you in the Panthers?"
What?
I said, "What?" I said, "I never heard of them."
Okay.
I said,
Just say 5, right? Fifth
yeah.
Amendment.
Then this fireman, black fireman, who was in with the, you know, the blowers to get smoke out, right?
Yeah.
He said, "You were in the Black Panthers, huh?" I said, "I told your cop friend, I never heard of the Panthers. What are they about? You tell me about the Panthers. Oh man, I can't believe you. Can't believe what? You can't get the smoke out of my house?
Wow.
Before I could finish, man, my neighbor's daughter jumped all over his head. You know how sisters would do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sister said, if you ask this man all his questions, this house is on fire. That was it. Yeah. So one of the story is, I guess, a red flag, a red trigger, or whatever, they went up, you know, but this is so fireman came about 3 minutes later. But yeah.
Wow, the struggle continues.
Struggle continues. But the Dells have a song real quick called
Okay.
If You Don't Know Me By Now, Remember You Never Knew.
Yeah.
That's where I look at that.
Wow, incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
Well, that let you know that you were involved in something great for the community, and the status quo was opposite of that. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Well, Comrade Harold, it has been an honor, and I look forward once some of the projects are kind of done and finished, because I've always thought that it would be good to have a documentary on Los Angeles in terms of City of Panthers.
Okay.
Because talk about that dynamic legacy involved, getting, that involved, Peace Punk. You know Peace Punk as well. Yeah. He's been a long time, great coalition comrade. So I hope that, we can always kind of get together and maybe make that happen, in a few years.
Okay. We got some motorcycle people passing, but I want to say real quick.
Okay.
Though I didn't want to do it in the beginning,
right.
When Roland and Ronald transitioned, we were having meetings to see what we were going to do with the Marvin Jackson, Southern California Black Panther Party breakfast program, right?
Okay.
And it's not just for old Panthers to get together and tell old war stories. We have spaces for youth to talk about what they're doing, right?
Right.
So we went around and around, and then Sharif, rest in power. Sharif called me around 11:30 at night one time. Well, I think you should be the spokesperson for breakfast. I said, nah, Sharif, I think it should be some of the members that were with Bunchy from the beginning. No, I said, all right, let me think about it. So people were calling me. And finally, Beverly Freeman called, and she told me, I don't want to go into a lot of it, but she told me how much respect that Roland had for me. Yes. What you did, and how could I resist that?
Oh, yes.
So we haven't had a meeting since March of 2020 because of the pandemic. We were meeting at Simply Wholesome restaurant here in Los Angeles every second Sunday.
Okay.
But yeah, that's an honor, man.
Oh,
it's an honor to, yeah.
Man, right on.
Yeah, okay, Malik.
Man, I tell you, it's been, I'm just glad that Corbina hooked us up indirectly by giving tribute to Geronimo Pratt, or Jock, I should say. And again, you just one of the legends. I want to thank you for inspiring me.
Thank you, good brother.
And to keep it up. And again, I definitely want to wish you well with all your projects, and let's stay in contact, brother.
I will. And on the projects, I'm gonna take me a break, man. I'm air conditioning, heating, fitter journey person. Okay. I never actually realized people, Robert Johnson.
Yeah, Robert Johnson. That's the let's see, he's a writer. Matter of fact, me and him are Facebook friends. Yes.
Right. Robert calls me comrade filmmaker. I'm a filmmaker now. Yeah, you a filmmaker.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, thank you for being a filmmaker, and
brother,
we will talk to you real soon. And good luck with everything.
All right, right on, man.
All power to the people.
All power to the people, yes, comrade.
Sir.
Stay safe.
Oh, you too, my brother. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay.
All right.